Hello fellow YouTubers, Alex here with a new video. This is part 3 of my September/October haul. Today we'll be talking about comedy movies, especially comedy movies from this label in Italy called Mustang Video, and also Raro, which my friend Sean from Killer Alien introduced to me. Well, it didn't really introduce me to this title, but it made me aware of it. And then I was going through the stack and I'm like, oh, he mentioned this label before. So I guess I do have a title after all, but we'll see what the title is. Let's start from this one. This movie is called Box Office. This is actually not a Mustang title, so that's my first slide right there. I didn't know where to place it, so I just put it in the stack. What can I say about this movie? This movie is almost like the Italian version of, scary movie, epic movie, disaster movie. You get the gist of it. It's a parody movie. Essentially, that's all it is. It's a parody movie. Is it a good one? Depends. Some segments are better than others, but I think this is like very Italian comedy. I don't think a lot of I don't think this comedy would really work with North American people. But there's a few things to mention here. The first thing to mention is this: when it came out in Italy, this was advertised as the first 3D movie. But I think after digging down, that wasn't the case. There was like another 3D movie filmed in Italy way back in the 60s or the 70s. A lot of people hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. I think I can appreciate it because this is when Italians try to do something different with their movies. And I think this is also a critique to all the big Hollywood movies that were coming out at the time. When this came out in the early 2010s, we were getting slammed with Harry Potter movies, Twilight movies, other stuff like Avatar, Zorro, Lord of the Rings. So I was making fun of all these big franchises, almost like criticizing how there wasn't a lot of variety in cinema back then. And to be fair, I think it's only getting worse since this movie came out. But that's just my opinion. Okay, I don't know if I can show this on YouTube. I don't know. I think I should be safe. I don't think it's anything crazy. So the other title that I have here is La Liceale, Il Diavolo e l'Acqua Santa. This is a Raro video release. I have no idea if this is what my friend Sean was referring to, but this is what I have. So what is this? This is a joint release between Raro Video and Nocturno. And it's basically one of the many titles that came out in the 70s and the 80s in Italy about sexy comedies. And this is one of them. This is a weird one. I was actually deceived when I bought this one because I thought this was going to be just one storyline, but it turns out that it's just 3 different segments stitched together in one movie, and I don't even think the stories connect. And it's not really a sexy comedy except for maybe one scene. A lot of the movies back then, they used to show a lot of like nudity and sexy scenes. This one, it's not like that at all. But it's a fun movie nonetheless, and I appreciate the actors in it, especially Lino Banfi and Alvaro Vitali. Those are like staples of the comedy of that time. And I don't know what else to say about this movie except for the fact that I was deceived, but it was okay nonetheless.
You got these figures because of the way the questions were asked. straight questions. Look, 54% of the voters in New York City would like to decriminalize drugs if it means no more money for the drug dealers, no more mafia, and no more addicted kids.
So the next movie, and this is actually a Mustang release, is I have no idea where to put this movie. This is not an Italian. Well, this is actually a joint production between Italy and the US. And in Italy, it was released as Dimenticare Palermo, which in English, the American title, I think it was The Palermo Connection. So this movie stars James Belushi, which he plays an Italian-American person, guy. I'm gonna let him slide because, Albanians and Italians are very close. So I think it works. And it was also funny to see him trying to speak Italian. But this movie is basically about Jim Belushi character playing somebody running for mayor in New York, and because of his Italian heritage, he gets pulled into visiting his own country, and he has some rather interesting interactions back home. I don't know what to say about this movie. This movie is an interesting one. It's almost a mix between a giallo and a drama, maybe a poliziesco movie or something like that. But I don't really know what else to compare it to, except that it's a pretty good one overall. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and it's probably James Belushi's most serious role out there. I haven't seen him doing anything this serious any other time. So yeah.
Huh?
Open up.
And if I don't, what's gonna happen? Huh? You'll get mad?
We're already mad.
Let's move on and let's talk about Altrimenti ci arrabbiamo. This is a classic Bud Spencer and Terence Hill movie. I bought this one just because I was in a dopamine rush, so I picked it up. As you can tell, this is still sealed. I haven't opened it or seen it. I think I've seen this movie on TV maybe a few times here and there, but I have no idea what the actual plot of this one is. So I'm gonna put this one on the side and enjoy it a different time.
Chi c'è chi? Se mi era rimasto un vaffanculo così te lo davo.
Okay, so this is actually a movie that I quite enjoy a lot. It's called Grandi Magazzini, which is, I think in English it's literally called Department Store. It's a movie from the 80s, and I think it's a critique to the department stores that were really becoming huge back then. Think of it as a movie fully set inside of a Walmart or a Costco, and it's different different characters and episodes that they don't really interact with each other, but it's just a series of funny interactions happening inside of a store. And I kind of hinted at earlier, it's probably a critique at the department stores back then, because Italy and rest of the world, it was focused mostly on single stores that were focused on one thing, and then those giants popped out of nowhere and they took society by shock. The good thing about this release is that it's got 2 discs, a DVD and a Blu-ray. I prefer the which one is it? I prefer the DVD because it's actually the one that has a longer version. So I didn't know this one until the summertime, but apparently in Italy it was fairly common to have a version that came in theaters and then a different version that came out on TV, and the version on TV would obviously be longer and without any edits or anything like that. So yeah, I watched the TV version over the summer, and it's got plenty more that I never saw before. So that one was good.
Avanti Fantozzi, che ce la fa! Coraggio! Coraggio! Ancora Fantozzi! Su, ragazzo, sforza le spalle! Non lo aiutate, se no è squalificato, deve arrivarci da solo.
Si alzi che ce la fa!
Su, non si dia per vinto! Su, è arrivato, su!
Forza, Fantozzi! Forza, Fantozzi! Su che... ci mancano appena 100 metri! E poi arriva! Su, forza, Fantozzi! Dai! Dai!
Fantozzi and its sequel, Il Secondo Tragico Fantozzi. These are probably some of the most famous Italian comedies out there by Paolo Villaggio, and they are a critique to the worker from the 70s. So I would say that most of it still applies to these days, where Paolo Villaggio created this character Fantozzi first as a book and then as a movie. And it's the story of this, accountant working for a big corporation, and now big corporations don't really care about their employees. That's as much as I can tell. But if you care about workers' rights, I think this is a good critique movie that you might find very enjoyable. So this was it for my stack of Italian comedies. Let me know if you have watched any of these movies or if you're planning on watching some. If I were to recommend one, it's probably Fantozzi. I think it's the most relatable to the North American people and folks out here. But if you have some Italian heritage in you, you might enjoy the other ones as well. Yes, if you stick until the very end, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you guys next one with part 4, I believe. I don't even know. I already lost count. That's how many videos there's ahead of me here. But see you next time, guys.